Hi everybody, it is Amika. I'm here for our live. I'm sorry I'm just a couple minutes late. I was putting little Finley down for a nap, my adorable little 7-month-old daughter. So thank you for all tuning in. If you're tuning in live, you can say hi and let me know that you can see and hear me okay. I'm just gonna pull up on my phone here comments and things so I can make sure everything is coming through to Facebook the way it is supposed to. Okay, it looks like Susan. Oh no, that's from earlier. Hang on, it's still pulling up. I see that there's people here, so comment and say hi to me if you're here. Awesome. I see hi, Amika, all good. Oh, hey, Sherry. Awesome. Okay. Thank you all so much for being here. I'm excited. This is our Q&A after our Plan for Profit challenge that we just got finished with. And then we had an amazing workshop on what's working now for 2019 if you want to start and grow your profitable handmade craft businesses. We did that Saturday. The replays on those will be available, so both for the challenge and for the workshop. So replays are available, but just until Wednesday. So through tomorrow night, you can go ahead and access all of that wonderful training and content for free with the recap page for Plan for Profit and then the replay link for the workshop. So I'm super excited that you guys have tuned in and joined me. There were so many people, almost 700 people tuned in combination with the challenge and the workshop. So that is amazing. And I feel so grateful for all of you. So thank you so much for putting in the work and showing your passion about your business, because that is why I'm here. And that's what just makes my heart flutter and gets me up in the morning and just brings so much joy to me and my life and my business, is all of you having a passion for creating your wonderful crafts and growing your wonderful businesses. So what we're doing today is a Q&A. So at any time, please post your questions in the comments and I can answer them for you. We're going to be going through the Create Your Profitable Craft Business sneak peek. So we're going to go through the program. So I'm going to show you exactly what my students see, so you can see everything that's in the program. And if you have any questions about that, of course, ask me. And then I'm also going to talk to you about our bonus that I just added. I'm so bad about keeping secrets, so I let the cat out of the bag early, but the Pinterest training bonus for my students, I'm going to tell you what that is all about, because that is very, very exciting. So I think I might actually start with that. Okay. I see that people are here, but of course my internet is so slow. Okay. There we go. There I am. Okay. I was just turning off the Wi-Fi on my phone so I can use my network, my phone network, to see myself on Facebook and see your comments. So hello. Okay, I see Susan and Lynn and Valerie is here. Margaret, awesome. Thank you all for being here. Tammy is here. Marcy, Lydia, awesome. Okay, so first let's talk about the bonus. So if you were in the workshop on Saturday, you heard me talk a lot about Pinterest and how important Pinterest is going to be for your business this year. Okay, so there's basically two ways to grow your audience, which is leads that your customers come from. Okay, so not everybody you talk to is going to turn into a customer. So we call that sort of group of potential customers leads. So there's two ways to grow your business with leads, and one is paid. So paid advertising, Facebook ads, newspaper, whatever kind of paid advertising you want to do, pay-per-click on Google. You know, I kind of put Etsy into there as a form of paid advertising, even though it is also an e-commerce marketplace. But But then there's the free way to get leads, and that's my favorite way. That's how I started and how I still grow my business is with free leads, which you can do, or we call it organic leads. So organically you post on Facebook and people see your stuff and it's free except for your time, right? But Pinterest is sort of like the big gorilla when it comes to free leads. Okay, so Pinterest has brought tens of thousands of people to my website in the last year, and my blog posts, so my content that I write for my customers, has gotten thousands of shares, and that's all been for free. Okay, and Pinterest, if you don't know, is going to go public as a company this year. So they said mid-year they're going to go public, and that means they're going to have a board to answer to and shareholders to answer to. So you're going to be seeing some really big things from Pinterest this year in terms of getting out to more people. They're nowhere near as big as the audience that Facebook has. I think it's like a fifth, I want to say, maybe less, like a fifth or less of the audience that Facebook has. So they have a lot of growing to do as a social media platform, even though they're not necessarily a social media platform. They're actually a search engine. That's how you use Pinterest, is as a search engine. And so in order for you all to capitalize on that as my students, I am starting at the middle of February, going to take my students of the Create Your Profitable Craft Business program through a Pinterest training, okay? And I'm going to do that live, and it's going to be a challenge format, just like the Plan for Profit challenge that we just went through. I'm going to take my students in the program through setting up their Pinterest, just like in a challenge. So it's super interactive, workbooks, accountability, which all my trainings are. But this one, I'm going to step-by-step walk my students through quickly getting your Pinterest set up without getting lost in the tech. And I know that a lot of you get stuck in the tech, and Pinterest is not super duper streamlined with their tech because they haven't had to be. So I'm walking you through my step-by-step process to get Pinterest set up as painlessly and quickly as possible. And I'm also going to be sharing how to avoid the most common mistakes that Pinterest newbies make when they create their pins. So there's some key things that you have to do to create shareable pins on Pinterest. Also be sharing everything you need to know about images and descriptions so that you can increase your website traffic by thousands, just like I did. How to set up rich pins, which is super key with pinning on Pinterest, is you want to make sure your website is rich pin enabled. And then I'll also be sharing you more strategies about what's working in 2019 to massively grow your audience with Pinterest. Okay, so that's only for my students in the Create Your Profitable Craft Business program. We're going through it live at the middle of February. It's probably going to take, I would guess, 4 weeks to do that together. So that is going to be a ton of fun, and I'm super looking forward to doing that with my students. And again, the doors are open right now. I only open them a couple times a year, and they will be open through this time on Wednesday. So there's basically 48 more hours to join the course if you are thinking about it. You can always message me or post here in the group if you have questions. Definitely get in a Facebook Messenger with me if you have something specific you'd like to ask about the course, or if you're unsure if the course is right for you. I'd be happy to help you and answer all your questions. So now I'm going to check comments, and then we'll go over to what my students see when they go inside the course. Okay. Ajay, I have jury selection coming up for Olympia's Farmers Marketon 120. Any advice for that type of setup? I don't know. Oh, so is jury selection like, you have to clarify that for me. So I'm thinking jury selection is like a kind of a lottery on if you get a booth for this event. Let me know, because I don't know what jury selection is for, and I'm assuming it's Olympia's farmers market. But generally, my advice for those of us who do events, broader events, some of my highest earning, revenue producing events are in fact kind of general events. Okay, so I'm a sheep farmer. I have sheep. I make things from my sheep milk and my sheep wool. And when you go to places that is the general public, so not necessarily your core ideal customer, you need to think in terms of things that general people will be attracted to, because they won't understand, like if I start talking to them about um, worsted versus woolen when we talk about yarn. They're probably not going to care, like 90% of them. So what I do for events like that is I have a more general appeal sort of approach. Like I don't bring my raw fleeces to a farmer's market, for example, or I don't bring my raw fleeces to an antique show. What I have is home decor. So I have my handmade rugs, and I have my handmade pillows, and I have bath and beauty products that I made from my sheep milk soap, and I have a special, and my special is like 3 for $20 on soap, the soap that I made from my sheep milk. Okay, so soap, everybody needs soap, right? So think in terms of more like home decor or consumable, like perishable things that everybody is going to want, and stay away from maybe the more specific niche oriented things that like only your people are going to get. Like you can bring a few of those things and maybe they're conversation starters, or maybe you know some of your customers are going to be there. But otherwise, I would go for more general appeal sort of things like what I described. Okay. That bonus can't get here quick enough, says Lynn. I know. And it is the perfect time, 2019, if you haven't done Pinterest, this is the year to do it, because it is just going to explode. Okay, it's only going to get bigger when they go public. Susan, judge choose what work goes into a jury show. Correct. I have to set up a sample market booth. I will be selling Icelandic wool products from raw fleeces, batting yarns, finished products, including needle felted. So if it's jury selected and it is for a market that is for a general population, again, I would go with, home decor, clothing, bath and beauty, like more general interest things, rather than, the raw fleece. Yarns might be okay, having some special yarns there. If you have a lot of quilters that go to that market, then maybe batting is appropriate. But it really depends on the target market of that market. That makes sense. That was a lot of markets. So the target market of the people that are going to be coming to that Olympia market. Okay, so you want to think about what the judges or the jury want to see, because they're going to want to see what will sell well. So I hope that answers your question. So I'm going to hop over now, continue putting your questions in the chat, in the comments, and I'll get to that in just a minute. But I want to show you what my students are going to be seeing inside their course. So at diysheepcrafts.teachable.com, so that's where all of my online courses are housed. So it's basically basically my school on the internet where everything lives. And you'll have a login. So you'll click login up here, and then you go to my courses here. Okay. And if you enrolled in the Create Your Profitable Craft Business course, this is what you're going to see. You're actually going to see 4 courses right now. Once we do that Pinterest training, you'll see 5 courses. There'll be a 5th here with that Pinterest training. And this is your main course here, which is the Create Your Profitable Craft Business course. And this is where the 6 modules are. There's a bonus module in there for setting up your LLC and things, and a couple more bonuses too. And then we have these kind of mini courses. So this is the Hobby to Business Challenge that I was talking about, which is amazing because it is what is going to get you making money basically in a weekend. Like even if you don't have a product, follow the mini trainings. So I'll show you what's inside of there. So it's basically a 5-day training with some Q&A and a bonus here. And then you have your workbook download, and it's going to get you A to Z where you need to be to sell something in a week, basically over a weekend. So if you have a weekend to sit down, you can start making money on Monday. I promise. It is not as hard as it seems. So, oh boy, what did I do? So then we have, now you're seeing all my courses. Hang on. There we go. So then you have the Plan for Profit Challenge. That's what we just went through. It was a bonus for my students. You'll always have access to all the content that we did in the Plan for Profit Challenge. So you'll have the pre-challenge day, the 3 days during the challenge, and then all of the downloads. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4 awesome downloads in there for you so that you can refer back to that, because again, your access to that, if you're not a student, it expires tomorrow night. Okay. And then the tech library here. So this is all of the kind of, if you're sitting over my shoulder at my desk, this is going to be all of your tech tutorials. You're basically seeing my screen, and I walk you through how to set up your Facebook business page, your Shopify store, your Instagram business, linking your Shopify to your Facebook to your Instagram so that you can sell your products on all of those platforms, and also how to set up your MailChimp, which is going to be where you manage all of your mail contacts. So everyone who opts in for content or your customers, I show you how to set all of that up and how to set up a welcome email sequence, which is super important when you're getting new leads in the door that don't know who you are. It's important for that welcome email to go out to them so they can learn more about you. And then, of course, here is the Create Your Profitable Craft Business program. It is quite a robust program. There are 6 modules, and this right here is just one module. Module 1 is create the right products. And as you can see, each of my modules in the course has a workbook and lots of videos. Okay, and all the videos are broken down into 5-10 minutes. There's some mini trainings in here, like this one is a productivity mini training. So like this was my top tips to increase your productivity. So how to get more done, how to get more product made in a shorter amount of time. Okay, so that was a really fun little mini training that we do. And we do a mini training every month in the group. Okay, so we have a private Facebook community just for students, and every month I'm in there doing a mini training. It gets recorded and then loaded into the course here. Okay, so module 2 is your visual brand. Module 3 is your writing great copy, so that's the words that you use. So this is like the images that people see. It includes how to take product photos, editing photos, lighting, your brand board. Okay, that's really important to have a cohesive brand. I show you how to do that there. And then your copywriting is like how to write your good blog posts and make good titles for those posts that people want to read, and how to do good product descriptions, how to write a bio and a business story to go on your about page of your website. Module 4 is all about getting all that hard work that you just did onto the internet on your very own online store. So it's all about how to put things on Shopify. And not only do I take you through the tech in this module, but I also talk about the strategy and why we do it this way. And my favorite thing about module 4, even though it can seem super daunting, is that I've put it in order, in the exact steps that you need to do it in to be the most efficient. So it's not like going back and forth like, oh, dang it, I forgot to set this up, and then you have to go back and do that and then go back to where you were before. So I've organized it in the most efficient way possible so that you can get this done as soon as possible, okay? And then module 5 is your sales strategy. So then we start getting into marketing. We talk about traffic and sales, how to get more eyes on your content, what to do with emails once you capture them, how to turn those emails into customers. Okay, so that's like a nurture sequence, and how to ask for the sale without feeling like slimy and salesy. So doing it in a way that makes sense to you and that's authentic and natural for you. And then product launches mini training was one of my favorite trainings that we had done in the group last year. And basically, I teach you how to like create hype around your products so that you're basically sold out the moment that your product goes live. Okay. And what I mean by that is, say you're planning to release a new product, or maybe it's an old product on Monday, and you spend the whole week before just like getting everyone super excited and say, okay, it's going to be available on Monday. It's going to be available on Monday. And basically saying that over and over again in different exciting, fun, interactive ways. And then when Monday comes around, you're sold out. Okay, so that's what that mini training was all about in the module 5. And then module 6 is all about scaling your business. So earmuffs again to those of you who haven't started your business yet. It might be a little overwhelming. This is why it's module 6. It's there for you when you need it. It's there for you when you get there, and you will. When you want to grow your business, that's called the scaling your business. So I talk about how to automate, how to grow your team, paid leads, which is paid advertising, and how to retarget potential customers. So that would be your warm audience. Having an ads budget and profit plan, optimizing your sales, which just means like streamlining your process, and adding different revenue streams. So a lot of you know that I recommend sort of focusing on one social media, getting really good at it before you even consider adding another one. And so that's what that training is all about. Okay. And then we had a mini training on retargeting potential customers. So that's turning warm leads into sales. So that's what that little training's all about, and that was a fun one as well. And then you'll see lots of bonuses in here. We have defining your business bonus. So this is a bonus module to help you decide whether you want to set up an LLC or a sole proprietorship, how to choose a business name, and how to legally go about claiming that name. And also claiming your name on the internet in general. Okay, so that's really important as well. Once you settle on a name, that you kind of clean up and clear out that real estate of your name on the internet, just in case you want to use it at another time. You don't want someone else to snatch it up. And then I have my bonus for the ultimate e-commerce business tools. I just share with you my favorite softwares and things that I use to run my business. Most of them are free. And then if you do craft booths or have never done one before and want to start one, I have a shopping list for you. It's kind of a checklist of the things that you need to bring to a booth, and also how to start one for under $500. Of course, I give you lots of tips on things to borrow and to make so that you can save a ton of money and not have to spend $500 on starting your first craft booth. And then how to make your own signs, okay? So that is inside of the Create Your Profitable Craft Business course. And of course, you also have all of those bonus modules and trainings and courses as well. So let me know your questions. Okay, awesome. Deanna's here. So I wanted to, I had some questions again about Etsy, and as you may know, I do like Etsy, but not to replace your e-commerce store. Okay, so a lot of people don't have anything. They have products and they want to sell their products on the internet, so they put it on Etsy, and I think that's fine. However, you need a way to nurture potential customers, and Etsy doesn't do that for you. Etsy does that for Etsy. So you're not creating a lot of loyalty when customers find you on Etsy. Etsy is kind of a mass marketplace, and you've heard me talk about this before. If you have no idea what I'm talking about, I can repeat myself, but what I wanted to point out today is that I didn't point out in the last couple of days is that Etsy, it was, I think the year before, I think in 2017, they started allowing mass manufacturers to list on Etsy. Okay, so now when you list on Etsy, you're also competing not only with manufacturers, so not handmade. Okay, so you're competing with manufactured goods, but also people from China. So mass producers in China can now list on Etsy and completely undercut your prices. So Etsy's kind of becoming like almost, no, I don't want to say just like Amazon, but they definitely took that kind of beautiful handmade thing that they had started with and sort of whitewashed it with allowing these manufacturers and things to come in kind of over the top of their bread and butter, or who they started with, really, which was the people like you, the handmade craft people. So that's a shame, and I think that trend is going to continue, where you're going to be seeing more lower prices on Etsy for things that used to be really artisanal and special. Okay. Hello. Okay. Susan says, how do you choose something as a brand? I'm confused about that since I'm an artist and photographer. So you want to some degree or to completely always brand yourself. Okay. So just going along what I was just saying about Etsy and the manufacturers, the only way you can compete with Amazon, with the manufacturers that are on Etsy, is with you, and that you're your brand. You as a person, your uniqueness, your specialness, the love that you put into your products, that's what is always going to make you stand out from Amazon and from these mass manufacturers. And that's why people are going to pay you what you're worth and pay you for the time that you've put into your products, is because of you, because you show up as a person and not as a company. Okay, you're showing up as you. Maybe you have a name for your business. That's not your name, and that's totally fine, but you're the face of your company. And when people know that they're doing business with an actual person and have a connection with them, that's when they become customers, and not only just customers, but loyal customers that want to buy again and again. And you as your brand, so you're your brand, you're your business, and you're putting out all this massive value, you're solving problems, you're writing good content in the form of your blog posts, you're giving so much more to your customers than just free shipping from Amazon, right? So when you brand, okay, you are branding yourself. So my advice is always to do what makes you feel good. Okay, choose colors that you like, choose fonts that you like, so you want to just be consistent. So that's my number one thing when you're creating your brand. So your look and your voice on your business and on the internet is to be consistent. Choose something, be consistent. It doesn't mean that you can't adapt your brand as your business grows, but you just always want to be consistent. And that's what that module 2 and module 3 are all about in the course, in the program, is about your visual brand, creating a brand board and a logo, and talking about why that's important, and then also the content and the voice that you speak in through your written content also is part of your brand. And even your photographs are part of your brand as well. So that speaks a lot about who you are and who your business is and what you value. And that's what your loyal customers want you to share with them. And that's what they want to know, and that's what they want to hear. Okay, Miss Dahlia questions the bottom line of an approximate cost, including your course fee, to cover all of the bases needed to be secure businesses off to a legal start. So that's a really good question. So the course is priced at $9.97, or if you want your Shopify store completely done for you, which includes your logo and your branding, that's $1,497. So $1,500 basically for the VIP option. And you'll also need Shopify, so that'll be Shopify Basic, which is monthly like $24, maybe $24 and some change. And then you're going to need your domain name. You can get it GoDaddy, so that is a couple dollars. Then you're going to need your business email, which can be $5 to $10 a month. Okay, so I recommend G Suite to host your email. So it would be like Miss Dahlia at missdahliadesigns.com, so that you can interact with people from a professional email address. So I do recommend that. And then I think that's about it. So your email marketing server is going to be necessary but free. Your graphic design software is going to be necessary but free. You can find free photo editors. Your computer probably comes with one, but there's some on the internet. Yeah, and using social media is free. So Instagram, Facebook, Pinterest, you can use all of those for free. I'm trying to think if there's anything else necessary in there. There are apps that you might want to add to your Shopify store. So like if you want product reviews, or like low quantity, if you want to show the quantity left in stock, that's an app that you add to Shopify. Some of the pop-ups are apps as well, but those are all free. So I think that's about it. So professional email, about $10 a month. It can be less depending on who you choose. Your domain, which is not very much money a year, a couple dollars. And Shopify is like $24, $25 a month. And then the course. So it's pretty easy to start, okay? And there are, of course, paid options for all of the softwares and everything else, but I want to start all of you off where I was, which is like every penny counts. And I really appreciate that about all of you, that you want your investment to go as far as possible. And I'm telling you that if you get the course and you're a student and you go through the modules, you do your workbooks, you interact in the Facebook community, every single penny that you've spent on the course is going to come back to you many, many, many times, okay? You are, cutting out the guesswork. I spent a really, way too long, like a year, kind of wafting in the wind, like, oh, I'll do a little bit of this, I read a blog, so I'm going to do a little bit of that for a while, and I wasn't super focused. And one thing that's like a core value of mine is efficiency. I like being efficient. I don't like doing things over again that I don't have to, and I don't like wasting my time or wasting my money. So that is why I've designed this course, because I was thinking about what I needed back then and what would have served me the best back then. And, if I could have just spent, $997 on something to fast forward my business a year or more, totally would have done it, okay? Sherry, I think that decision by Etsy will bite them in the arse. Enough people are complaining about listing fees and algorithms there. This will kill them. And I think, because the ease of use of the internet has gotten to kind of a layman's level, that you're right. People would much rather just go build their own website on Shopify. Like, you could set up a beautiful website for yourself in, full-time job, maybe 2 days. Okay, like that's all you did all weekend was set up your Shopify store. When the first website that I built was, 20 years ago, and it was using code, so HTML code, and it was not for everybody, okay? You had to sit there and look at lines and lines and lines of code and know how to code. And now it's all graphically interfaced, which means you just go in there, you click, you see exactly what it looks like over here, you change some stuff over here, and it updates in real time, and it's just so much easier. So I think platforms, you're right, like Etsy, aren't as useful as they used to be, because it's so much more accessible to everybody to just create their own website. The thing that I like Etsy for, again, is as a marketplace to get new eyes on your content, on your products, introduce them to you, because it's a mass search engine. But I think Pinterest does that much more efficiently and much better, and brings you in much more quality people, okay? So my vote is Pinterest over Etsy. But I could go on about Etsy all day. Susan says, thank you, much clearer. Laura, hi Laura, thanks for tuning in. And I know I'm supposed to say her name Lara, but I don't know why, like, my brain can't handle that. I want to say it like in Espanol, like Lara, and I know that probably is not right. Lydia, would you need to pay for a professional email? Could you just use a platform like Gmail with your business name? Yeah, so I do cover this in the course. Gmail is about the only, at whatever.com, so at Hotmail, at Yahoo, at whatever. So at gmail.com is pretty much the only acceptable professional, not your own website, that domain that you can use for your email. So that is an option. So if you're going to not use a professional email, use a Gmail email. And I think that's okay. But in the future, like down the line, it should be in your business plan or in your finances to pay for that, whatever, $5 or $10 a month to have your own domainname.com email address. So, Lydia at lydiaglick.com. Okay. Miss Dahlia thanks Miss Ryan for addressing the question. Marcy says Etsy only allows mass produced in supply category, not handmade. When I've searched some stuff on Etsy, though, I've gotten Chinese manufacturers. So I don't know if that applies, like if you put a search term in just in Etsy, because I definitely see a lot of Chinese stuff when I search for I'm trying to think of specifically what it was. It might have been roving or something, and I was surprised. Like, that sometimes where they're from doesn't appear under their name or under their profile. So I ordered it, and then it said it was going to take like 6 weeks or 4 weeks, and I'm like, that doesn't sound right. And I looked into them more, and they were from China. So I don't know how regulated that is either. Laura, either way you say my name is fine with me. Oh, thanks. Why do you say Gmail and not at outlook.com? Asked Sherry. So that is just a perception in the marketplace. It's not something that I say. It's just kind of an accepted, people tend to be okay with Gmail business emails and not other ones. Liz, Etsy sells dryer balls from China. Yeah. Marcy says on Etsy, roving is a supply. Yeah, so I guess you have to be careful with Etsy. But you guys have heard me go on about Etsy. So just as a reminder, any more questions, pop them in. The replay of the workshop expires tomorrow night. The Plan for Profit Challenge recap, all those videos are coming down tomorrow night. And then the Create Your Profitable Craft Business course, the doors are open for enrollment until about this time. So it's 4 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. Eastern. The doors will close on Wednesday for the program, and I won't open them up again for a while. So if you want to get in on that now, I highly recommend that you do so. Of course, pop into Messenger and let me know if I can help you with anything specific about the program, or if you're on the fence, or if you're not sure if it's right for you. I only want people in the program that it's right for. I don't want people buying it and being disappointed because, it just wasn't right for them, which has never happened. But I really want people in there that are going to add to the community and are excited about their businesses and are coachable and want my help and are just going to kill 2019. And it's a really great group of ladies in our private Facebook group. So let me know if you're thinking about it, and I'd love to help you make a decision. And then just know that whether you buy or not, I'm always here, okay? And I appreciate you being here and being part of my workshop and being part of my challenge. And you all just bring so much to my life. And I appreciate you all so, so much. Okay. Deanna, I saw on Etsy and have done pretty well, but I took a course on to advance on it. Headed to the mill. Going to the Sun Mill is her Etsy shop. Are the bonuses and new material in the course available to old students? Yeah, absolutely. So if you log into your student area now, you'll see everything in there that I talked about. And of course, you will be participating in the Pinterest training that starts mid-February. Deanna, do you touch on grants? I don't touch on grants. It's something that we can do a mini training on though. So just pop it in our student group and I will get that on the schedule. And then Diane says, will the Pinterest material be available as a standalone program? I'm not planning on it at this time. Okay, it will just be for students for now. Laura, do you have a formula for properly pricing fiber art? I have been told I should charge more for needle felted sculptures. I see prices all over the place. So I do go over pricing. It's in that Hobby to Business Challenge in the course. So there is a formula. You can look up, pricing formulas on Google. And we do touch on that. I recommend that as a minimum to cover your costs. And then there's strategies that you can use to increase the perceived value of your products so that you can charge what you want and what you deserve. And I'm going to tell you that you can put a price on your products just about anywhere you want, and somebody is going to buy it, okay? And it all has to do with the story that you tell around your products. I'm not just talking about like the verbal story that you tell people about your products, but the visual story, the experience that you create for your customers, and the problem that it solves for your customers. And every product that you make should solve a problem and does solve a problem. It just depends on how you talk about it, the marketing that you put behind your products, okay? One of my stories is I handmade this, it's called shinfell, it's spelled skinfell, and what it is, it's sheepskins, and you sew them together and you patch the leg holes, because sheepskins aren't, square or rectangular, so you use just about all of the skin. It's a traditional Norwegian art. It's like 1500 years old. And this like little Norwegian lady came from Norway to teach me how to do it a few years ago. So I made this shinfell, and I priced it really high, and I took it to my craft events, like my in-person events, and as a talking piece. Like it's like the thing that you see across the room that you have to go touch it. Like you see it and you're like, I'm going to that booth. So people would come and they would touch it, and I never expected it to sell. It was priced really, really high, like $1,000 high. And somebody one day just came in a booth. She's like, I have to have that. And I'm like, no, you don't. I mean, yes, you do. Like, dang it. So wherever you want to price something, somebody is going to buy it. Okay. And it just really depends on your marketing around it and the perceived value of it to your customer. And that all has to do with your marketing. Okay. Okay, I think that is it. So thank you all so very much for being here, and let me know if you have any more questions. You can comment or post in our group here. And for now, I am going to sign off, and I'm just going to wish you all a good night and happy crafting.